In the end, it was a simple vote count, tallied electronically live on TV. The result, historic. Donald Trump impeached. But what a day leading up to that.
Resolved that Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors.
In the run-up to the vote, just hearing the words from inside the U.S. Capitol building.
Article 1, abuse of power.
And the allegations.
Article 2, obstruction of Congress.
Underlining the stakes for Donald Trump. For more than 7 hours, they debated the allegations against him yet again.
Our founders' vision of a republic is under threat from actions from the White House.
Say Democrats, Trump abused the presidency for his own political gain by pressuring Ukraine to dig up dirt on Trump rival Joe Biden, and then that Trump obstructed the investigation into that.
He gave us no choice. Never before in the history of our nation have we seen a president declare and act if he is above the law.
But for the courage of someone willing to blow the whistle, he would have gotten away with it. Instead, he got caught. He tried to cheat, and he got caught.
Indeed, one after another, Democrats made their view clear, at times with passion.
When you see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something. Our children and their children will ask us, what did you do? What did you say?
But equally, as has been the case throughout, Republicans countered.
This vote, this day, is about one thing and one thing only. They hate this president.
Enough of this impeachment circus. Enough of these sham witch hunts. I'm voting no because the president has done nothing wrong.
But in the end, Donald Trump has been impeached. Paul, you were in that House chamber for a lot of that debate today. What was it like?
It was sobering, right? I mean, you feel it when you're sitting in the chamber. You know, at some point I realized, yeah, this is where they had the State of the Union address, including Donald Trump.
Right.
So you feel the sense of history. And then the clerk says the words, right? Donald J. Trump and abuse of power, obstruction of Congress. And you realize it's actually happening. They're impeaching a president tonight. I say sobering because regardless of your politics, this is not a happy night in this country. This is now the legacy of Donald Trump. And in that room today, you felt that.
Okay, Paul, thanks very much. All day, as debate rang out inside the House of Representatives, reaction rolled in outside, first from protesters, and then, as Susan Ormison shows us, from the president himself.
By the way, it doesn't really feel like we're being impeached.
As the 45th president seemingly shucked off the stain, Trump Nation rallied.
Nothing wrong.
In the shadow of Capitol Hill, so did Democrats.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
Reveling in the day they'd longed for.
The majority of Americans believe he should be impeached and removed.
But Congress and this country are both sharply divided, even more angry.
We do not live in a world that adheres to the facts. We will not be
you get your facts from the establishment media.
And you're mad because you can't win.
Tim Collins stops to shout back at the demonstrators.
They lost the election. They've been harassing our president since day one. They need to leave him alone.
Any solemn victory for Democrats is limited by the political reality that impeaching this president will not put him out of office. Do you think impeachment has power if he's not removed?
Yes. But this is a man right now whose behavior seems to know no bounds. So it may be more for the country than for him.
But Donald Trump will play impeachment as a nasty plot, says Hans Knoll.
This is the elites, Congress, the Democrats, the media, all out to get Trump. And so if you go to a Trump rally, that's what he's going to say already, and he's going to be able to segue naturally into anything that comes out of the impeachment to fit that narrative.
With this president, there will be no apology. He will cleave the country still, says Samuel Porter.
Forget the impeachment for a moment. He just divides us, and it's just not right. This man brings out the worst in all of us, and he just really divides us, and it's not cool.
We wish you would leave the White House sometime next year.
Parody or not, there is little chance of that.
We won't go together, so get out right now!
So a historic day, Susan, and not just here in Washington, I guess, but across the country, right?
Yeah, I mean, the impact won't be felt tomorrow or even in the weeks. It'll be measured in months when we see really if impeachment still matters, if it galvanizes voters. We know that it will be used in campaigns. It already has. And I was struck, Adrian, by some of the people at that rally who conceded reluctantly that it won't remove this president, but it is a statement of what they say is disgust with this president. On the other hand, Republican voters have said they feel this was a bold attempt to nullify their vote, and now more than ever, they're not going to let that happen. So, in a way, the campaign for 2020 has just started, Adrian.
All right, Susan, thanks very much. So, Trump is impeached, but tonight he is still the president of the United States. Removing him from office would take a conviction in the Senate, which is where all of this heads next. The Republican-held Senate will now hold a trial with senators sitting as the jury. There's no date set yet, but it's widely expected to start in January. Beforehand, Democrats and Republicans will try to work out the rules, including who to call or not call as witnesses. That's a point that's already proving contentious. It's really not clear how long the trial will last, but weeks is a pretty safe bet. And in the end, it would take an unlikely 2/3 vote to convict Trump and remove him from office.